Hey guys, in this video I'm comparing the OnePlus Nord N200 5G with the Google Pixel 4a. The N200 comes in with a price of only $240 for the cheapest 5G phone available from OnePlus, while the Google Pixel 4a comes in at $350 and brings a clean version of Android with many updates on the way. Let's go ahead and get started. One big difference between these devices is that the N200 is a 5G phone, obviously, while the Pixel 4a is only LTE. The overall size of the N200 is 6.4 inches tall, 2.9 inches wide, 0.33 inches thick. The Pixel 4a is 5.67 inches tall, 2.7 inches wide, 0.32 inches thick, so a little bit of a smaller size for the Pixel 4a. As for the weight, the N200 is 6.67 ounces, while the Pixel 4a is very lightweight at just over 5 ounces. Build quality. The N200 has a glass front with a plastic frame. Same thing goes for the Pixel 4a, glass front, plastic back, plastic frame. At these price points, these definitely are not going to have a great build quality such as glass or other materials like that, or steel. But at this price point, it is totally okay. The N200 has a dual SIM capability, while the Google Pixel 4a has a physical SIM card and also an eSIM embedded. Now let's go ahead and talk about the displays on these devices. You have a 6.5-inch display on the N200. It's an IPS LCD display with 90 Hz refresh rate. Very, very nice, with 83% screen to body ratio. On the other hand, the Pixel 4a has a smaller 5.8-inch OLED display with 60 Hz refresh rate and 83% screen to body ratio. So the overall bigger screen with a higher refresh rate is the N200. Resolution though is almost the same, very close. You got a 1080p display on both of these devices, so that's a full HD display. PPI comes in at 406 on the N200, 443 PPI on the 4a. These resolutions and PPI densities are very, very good. They rank up there with the flagship level devices because over 400 is very, very nice. The Pixel 4a also has an always-on display. Now let's talk about software. The N200 is running Android 11 with Oxygen OS on top. It is basically a stock version of Android with a few tweaks and features. The Google Pixel 4a, one of its biggest selling points is its software, and it's running Android 11 upgraded from Android 10. And it is going to be updated for Android 12 as well. You're going to get a pure Android experience from Google directly, and you're going to get updates that are available from day one that that Google releases its software before any other phones get them. There's pretty much almost no real difference between these versions of Android with the skins or whatever. They both feel very stock, and you pretty much won't be able to distinguish them from each other, but you will get more updates on the Pixel 4a. For the chipset, you have a Snapdragon 485G on the N200, while the Pixel 4a has a Snapdragon 730G. Both of these are okay. They'll get the job done, powering all your everyday apps for video, for chat, for music, for podcasts, for messaging, for light gaming. They're both very capable for that, but they won't do anything for heavy gaming or heavy graphic gaming or any heavy video editing or anything like that, but they'll get the job done. Now let's talk about the storage. The N200 has 64 gigs of internal storage, while the Pixel 4a doubles that to 128. But on a side note, the N200 has a micro SD card slot, so you have a chance to upgrade the storage very cheaply and on the fly. For the N200, it has 4 gigs of RAM, while the Pixel 4a has 6 gigs of RAM. Both of these amounts of RAM are more than enough for everyday apps in the background, and you shouldn't have any problems with either of these, although they're not flagship level amounts of RAM, which start off around 8 gigs, but that tends to be a little bit of overkill for most people. For the cameras, you have 3 cameras on the N200 on the back, 13 megapixel main, 2 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth. Pixel 4a has a single 12 megapixel shooter. You can shoot up to 1080p on the N200, you get to shoot up to 4K on the Pixel 4a. The story here, guys, is that the Pixel 4a has an overall better camera, even though it only has one single lens on the back. The N200 will give you okay shots with video and with pictures, but you gotta have a decent amount of light or be outside, then you're good to go. The Pixel 4a has an excellent night mode to take pictures and videos in the dark, and it's just overall a better camera. Selfie, the N200 has a 60 megapixel shooter at 1080p video. The Google Pixel 4a, 8 megapixel shooter with 1080p video. Both of these will do the job just fine. One bonus for both of these phones is that they both have a headphone jack to connect your headphones, connect your mic, or connect it to your car via aux cord so you can listen to music, something that flagship phones lack. As for wireless connectivity, both of these phones have Bluetooth. You got 5.1 on the N200, 5.0 on the Pixel 4a, and they'll both happily connect to your wearables and your smart devices such as your smart band, your smartwatch, your wireless headphones, wireless speakers, and whatnot. Both phones have NFC enabled, so that's basically reserved for payment systems, and they both have a USB Type-C port. For unlocking and security, they both have fingerprint readers, but the N200 is on the side, the Pixel 4a is on the rear. Both of these are reliable ways to unlock your device, nothing too fancy here. Me personally, I like the back-mounted fingerprint reader. Last but not least is the battery. Big story here. Very important feature of a phone is the battery, and I'm very impressed by the N200 5G. 5,000 milliamp battery for a 5G phone. That is basically what you need nowadays, and I applaud them. You get several days of battery out of this. But the Pixel 4a, on the other hand, only has a 3,100 milliamp battery. Very, very, very disappointing. Even though it's only a 4G device, that is a small battery. It won't get you through the whole day. Both of these do offer fast charging though at 18 watts. So the story here, guys, after reading the specs and telling you all about these and comparing them, both of these are good phones, especially because of the price. You're gonna get some very good features coming out of the N200, and you got some very good features coming to the Pixel 4a. For example, pluses of the N200 is the price. You got the cheap 5G price, $240, or you can get it on T-Mobile or T-Mobile Metro by T-Mobile prepaid. You can get the phone for free if you port your number over. So that offer is just awesome. It really makes the value super good. It has a bigger screen than the Pixel 4a. It has a massive battery. It has that 90 hertz refresh rate. It is just awesome. It has the micro SD card slot. There is just a lot to like about the N200. You're not gonna get, and you're only gonna get one update for Android to Android 12, and it's just, the camera's okay. On the other hand, the Pixel 4a has this perks of being able to have a great camera system with a single lens, and it also has the ability to get just a complete stock version of Android from day one. It'll get several updates straight from Google, and it has that eSIM embedded if that's something that you like. And the price isn't too bad either, only at $350. But both of these, if I had to choose between these two, I mean, I'm going to look to the future and I'm going to pick the N200. It has just too many features going for it, especially for me. In my personal opinion, I really consider the battery to be a big selling point for the phone. Very important. If you don't have battery and the battery dies, doesn't matter what features you have on the phone, it'll be useless. Very disappointed in the Pixel 4a battery. Pixel phones in general have crappy battery life. So if they were to get that fixed, it might be a very different story. Well, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.